Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the Chug Nerd YouTube channel. Today we're going to be checking out this entry level, very budget friendly and very cool Ibanez Gio Stealth 6-string guitar. Let's see what she's all about, shall we? Alright, welcome back to the Chug Nerd YouTube channel, everybody. My name is DJ, I'm a guitarist from the southwest of the UK. Been playing guitar for around about 20 years or so now, and this YouTube thing is still, I'm gonna call it new. I've literally just passed 6 months of doing this. I just made a video about my first 6 months on YouTube. So before we go any further, if you do go on to enjoy or find this video useful in any which way, then please consider dropping a like, leaving me a comment, or even hitting that subscribe button and joining the Chug Nerd community that I'm trying to build here in this little corner of YouTube. Fully aware, I know, that there are already enough YouTube guitarists, but this is something that I love doing. I really enjoy chatting about guitars, talking to other people about guitars. So if that sounds like something you'd enjoy, then come along on the journey with me. Anyway, today we're gonna be checking out this absolute weapon of a guitar right here. Very cool Ibanez Gio. Now I am going to read the name of this because I cannot remember it because it's a ridiculous Ibanez name, so hang on. This is the Ibanez GR131EX Gio Stealth Black Flat 6-string guitar. Before we go any further, let's see how this thing sounds in a full demo mix. Let's go. Alright, at this point in the video, I always like to have a look at some sexy B-roll footage of the guitar and also have a look at some of the specifications. So without further ado, this is the Ibanez GR131EX Gio Stealth in flat black finish, and it's a 6-string guitar. We've got a poplar body, a maple neck, and a purple heart fretboard. On the fretboard, we've got these awesome black shark tooth inlays, which you can just about see when the light catches them just right. Pickups wise, we've got an Infinity R bridge pickup, passive ceramic, and an Infinity R neck pickup, passive ceramic. One volume, one tone, and a 5-way selector. The nut, tuning keys, and bridge aren't specifically mentioned in the specs, so we're just going to assume they are Ibanez own, and we've got a plastic nut. So signal chain for today's video is going to be the same as it always is, because that means you can always measure the sounds of a guitar against another sound of the guitar on my channel, because they're always going to be the same. So it's going to be the guitar, this one, the Ibanez Stealth Gio, is going to be going into my Focusrite Scarlett Solo interface. That's going to be going into GarageBand. GarageBand is going to have the Soldano SLO Neural DSP plugin loaded up on it, and I do have a little bit of EQ in post on it as well, just to make it slightly more palatable for YouTube and for your ears. Alright, I want to mention this is not a sponsored video in any way. This is my own guitar that I bought with my own money. In fact, this is what I'm going to be calling the Marketplace Project guitar. So I bought this from Facebook Marketplace. It originally costs in the UK between £200 and £230 brand new. It is in brand new condition and I paid £100 for it, which I felt was a really, really good price for this guitar in brand new condition. Genuinely brand new. It's in absolutely immaculate state. I believe it's still got the original strings on. I've given it a bit of a clean and a bit of a tidy up where I think it just got a bit dusty and definitely needed to rehydrate the fretboard, but other than that it is in absolutely immaculate condition. Now this guitar actually is being traded tomorrow, so my goal is to have a guitar that I own but I don't keep, and my goal is to constantly have one guitar that I'm trading out onto Marketplace for anything else that tickles my pickle and takes my fancy. So this is going to be traded off tomorrow for another guitar. I won't spoil the surprise, but it's very, very cool. And that guitar will be featured in a video very, 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 very soon. So when I was just learning guitar, I'd been playing for a couple of years and I was always a massive ESP and LTD super fan. And so I begged and begged and begged and pleaded my mum to buy me for Christmas an ESP LTD M50. So that's like the most entry-level budgety LTD that they possibly did. It was like this, it was really similar to this. It didn't have a scratch plate, it was just a wooden body with two pickups screwed onto the front, super cheap. But I absolutely adored it. It was all right for what it was, and it was great for the level of guitar that I was. And this very much reminds me of that, except it's a lot better. And that just, I think, to me, stood out as someone who's been playing guitar for over 2 decades, how far guitars have come in that time. Now that M50, I'm sure it was called an M50, I'm pretty sure it was. That guitar was good. It was fine. But if I was playing it now, I would easily be able to tell that it was a very, very cheap guitar. Whereas this, honestly, it's not perfect, and there's a couple of negatives that I'm going to talk about in a second, but they're negatives that you'd expect. This is an excellent, excellent instrument. I reviewed last week a £350 RGA, I can't remember what the model number was, but that was equally fantastic. And I've also had on this channel another RG, it was like a £900, I don't know Ibanez model names, I'm sorry, I don't remember them. I'm not a massive Ibanez fan, but I do my best. But I had like a £900 Ibanez that belonged to my guitarist in my band, Bo, and that was a fine guitar. And I also have owned another Ibanez, which is like £1,500. It was a beautiful, beautiful guitar. It was an Alpa. Can't remember what the model number was, but it was amazing. And honest to God, the two guitars that I've had on most recently, this £200 guitar and the £350 guitar that I had on last week, were both more enjoyable to play than the more expensive Ibanez. No lie, no joke. Doesn't mean they're better, they were more enjoyable to play. The neck on this is amazing, it's fantastic. The frets are beautiful, really nicely done. Like I said, the fretboard was drier than the Sahara when I got it, but that's an easy fix. The playability is fantastic. I had a really, really great time writing the demo track. I really enjoyed doing my kind of tone demos that I've got interspersed throughout this video. And just generally, it held up really, really well. I've had it for about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, and I've played it quite a lot in that time. And it's just been a lot of fun to have kicking about in the house. It's just been a lot of fun to play and tinker on and just have around. I've had absolutely no tuning issues. The tuning keys are super cheap, and you can definitely tell they're super cheap, but that's something that you could easily upgrade, and on a £200 guitar you wouldn't expect really good tuning keys anyway, so that's fine. The pickups, are really, really hot, super hot. They're so high output. Normally on my Focusrite, I have the input dial set to about midway, about half, maybe slightly less than half. But when I plugged this in, I had to put it just off nothing, and that was still a little bit too much. These pickups are so, so hot. They sound fine. They don't sound amazing, but they sound fine. For a £200 guitar, they sound absolutely fine. Again, the bridge, the electronics, no qualms, no issues, no problems at all. We have finished Metal Gear Solid 2. I will prepare Metal Gear Solid 3 for the next video. Don't panic. Yeah, so like I was saying, electronics, hardware, no issues at all. The blade switch is good. Volume rolls on and off nicely. Tone rolls on and off nicely. There's lovely jangly tones that come out of position 2 and 4 when you split down the coils in the pickups. It's great. It's a really good guitar. It's not aimed at being a super fancy, super expensive high-end guitar, but for what it is, a £200 budget end entry level guitar, I think this is absolutely wicked. So two other things that are super cool with this is this neck profile is really nice. It's like a slim taper almost. It definitely gets thinner up this end than it does up this end. And also the neck heel, although it's quite a blocky neck heel, the nice thing with the RG range is they always have this kind of curve to it. So it's not a big block like you would get on a Strat or a Les Paul. It's still slightly... It's good upper fret access, to be fair. It's not bad at all. It's not chamfered or anything. It's not cut away like you would get on like a through neck or anything like that. But it's still really good upper fret access, and that was two things that I just thought were worth pointing out. Really nice neck, really nice heel. So if you were to get this and this was maybe your first proper guitar, or this was like your first guitar that like you really wanted, that you know you picked out, I think you'd have a great time with this straight out of the box. You may need to take it to a luthier to set up when you get it, because that's sometimes what you have to do with a new guitar for any new guitarists out there. A luthier is someone who repairs, fixes and sets up guitars. So what they'll do is they'll set the intonation, which makes sure that all the frets are in tune when you press on them. They'll make sure the action isn't too high or too low, which is the string height from the fretboard, and they'll generally set it up with the neck in the right position and other things just to make sure it plays how it's meant to play. Anyway, with that little side note aside, if this was your first guitar, or a guitar that was like the first one that you picked out, like my M50 wasn't my first guitar. That was a guitar that I personally fell in love with and picked out, and I was like, yeah, that's an achievable thing for me to get. I'll work really hard, put some money towards it, and ask for the rest of it for Christmas. And that's what that guitar was to me. And this is that same kind of thing. And then if you got it, I think you'd have a great time straight out the box with it, and over time, you could put some lock-in tuners on it. You could upgrade the pickups to something slightly nicer if you wanted to. You don't have to spend the earth. A good set of Warmans would do really well, and you probably get them for around £30. So it'd be better than this, and you still wouldn't have to break the bank to get them. Everything else on this is fine. Input jack, tone, volume. It's all good. It doesn't need upgrading. It is great as it is, and it sounds really, really, really good. And it's a lot of fun to play, which I think is the most important thing. One other little detail that I always like with Ibanez guitars, I don't know if there's other companies that do it, I don't recall seeing on any other guitars, but they always offset the low string slightly further back, and I think that's awesome because it just allows you to get a little bit more tension in the low string if you're down tuning it, if you're going to drop D or whatever you want to go to. I think that's a really cool little feature. I'll tell you another thing I absolutely love about this guitar, and that is the reverse headstock, which you don't often see on a guitar in this kind of price point. So that, I think, is really, really cool, especially for a guitar that's, let's be honest, aimed at metalheads and people that are going to play metal. So having that extra string length at the top of the neck to give you more tension, again, it's only going to help improve the stability of the guitar. Plus, it looks sick. It looks super cool, that reverse headstock. I love it. I would say that that is everything that I've got to say about this guitar. I have enjoyed it very, very much. It's not one that I would keep. It certainly isn't better than any of my other guitars, so this will serve its purpose. It will be in my collection for another day, and then it will go off to be traded on Marketplace and be replaced with something new that I can bring to your eyes and to your ears very, very soon. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Thank you so much for joining me today, everybody. Very much appreciate you being here and joining me for this video. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below in the comments. I really, really love catching up with people in the comments sections about all the different guitars that I feature on my channel. So let me know, have you had or played this guitar? I would love to know what you think of it if you have. I've often do videos like I did one of a Jackson JS Dinky a few months ago, and so many people in the comments section just loved telling me their stories about how that was their first 7-string guitar, or that was like their first main guitar, and just how impressed they were with it because it was such an entry-level guitar. And it was just so nice and refreshing to hear other people's takes on these reviews that I'm doing. So if you've got a story about this particular guitar or one similar in this range, let me know in the comments below. I really, really would love to mix it up with you and have a chat with you down there about this guitar or anything guitar related, to be honest. Anyway, that's enough jabbering from me. I will see you in the next video. Thank you ever so much for joining me in today's video, everybody. I will catch up with you again very soon. Take care until then. In a bit.